In the therapist's office, Max, an adolescent, laments his unattainable desire for normalcy, his countenance concealed beneath layers of bandages. His visage, astonishingly beautiful, possesses a lethal charm, fatal to those who gaze upon it. He divulges the chilling tale of his birth, recounting the demise of hospital staff who beheld his face, revealing that only his parents are immune to his fatal charm. Studies exposed a unique phenomenon. Max's beauty triggers a hormonal surge, swiftly terminating lives. The family, to safeguard Max and others, relocated to a secluded town, implementing stringent measures such as homeschooling. Regrettably, Max's isolated upbringing left him lonely and socially inept, his eccentricity extending to an unusual hobby: embroidery. Skeptically, the psychologist challenges Max, compelling him to unveil his lethal beauty. A mysterious disturbance prompts Max's parents to rush into the office. Discovering the lifeless psychologist, law enforcement warns against casually attributing the deaths to mere accidents, emphasizing the need for prudence to prevent Max from potentially facing imprisonment. During a parental discussion, Max's aversion to confinement at home surfaces. His parents enlist his sole friend, Dan, to enroll Max on a dating app, much to Max's chagrin. Alone, Max contemplates a drastic solution, urging Dan to wield a brick, hoping to rid himself of the curse of deadly beauty. In the throes of Dan's phone-induced distraction, Max seizes the moment and provoking the collision he secretly desires. Max and his mother chance upon a magazine hinting at a unique opportunity: hosting exchange students. Eager to foster companionship for Max, his mother entertains the idea, while Max vehemently opposes it. In the waiting room, an encounter with a girl named Alex, the last magazine holder, sparks an unexpected connection. As they chat, Max's doctor summons him. Later, in an attempt to lift Max's spirits, Dan arranges a blind date, initiating awkwardness once he departs the restaurant, leaving the teens to navigate unfamiliar terrain. Seeking to dispel the girl's apprehension about his appearance, Max offers a handkerchief adorned with her name, an embroidered gesture of goodwill. A positive turn takes a sudden dark twist when disruptive noises reveal Craig causing a scene in the restaurant. Craig intrudes upon their table, intending to flirt with the girl, but recoils upon recognizing Max as the protagonist of the deadly stories circulating. Craig, displaying rudeness and intimidation, pressures Max to reveal his face. Attempting to avoid trouble, Max accidentally topples their drinks, leading to further mockery. Fortunately, the restaurant staff seizes the opportunity to eject Craig. Despite the ordeal, Max summons the courage to ask the girl for another date, only to be met with rejection as fear replaces curiosity. Devastated, Max contemplates a tragic resolution, heading towards the nearest bridge, convinced that a normal life is beyond his grasp. Out of the blue, Alex playfully interrupts Max's contemplation at the bridge, sparking a conversation that meanders through topics like life, candy, and Max's whimsical dream of swimming in a tub of jelly beans. To divert Max, Alex proposes a spontaneous adventure, leading them to a retirement home. There, they befriend Rosemary and Esther, two spirited elderly women facing terminal conditions. The foursome shares a delightful afternoon over tea and snacks, discovering Esther's struggle to pen a final book due to Alzheimer's. Following their heartwarming encounter, Alex accompanies Max home, revealing that their paths won't cross again. Undeterred, Max, encouraged by Dan, contemplates chance encounters at familiar spots, hoping to reconnect with Alex. That night, inspired by the bridge moment, Max channels his emotions into an embroidery design. The following morning, Max, fueled by newfound hope, revisits the bus stop and discovers that Alex deliberately missed her ride. Initially cautious, Alex eventually agrees to share a day of enjoyment. Their escapade leads them to a store, where they amass an abundance of jelly beans to fulfill Max's dream, a bathtub brimming with candy. In this sugary indulgence, Alex discloses her desire to swim in a river of jello. Max, in a moment of vulnerability, reveals the truth about his deadly face, finding solace as Alex already suspected his unique condition. In turn, Alex unveils a rare cardiovascular ailment, rendering her allergic to endorphins, detailing the complexities of her heart condition. Alex discloses her reliance on an experimental medication, while showing Max the heart monitor concealed beneath her jacket. Connecting over shared struggles, Max feels a profound understanding between them. They cap off the day by watching a movie, indulging in laughter, and reveling in the shared joy of the moment. Subsequently, Max and Alex head to Max's home, where Alex admires his embroidery, expressing a desire for a personalized design. An intimate moment ensues, tempting a potential kiss, but the reverie is abruptly shattered by the untimely arrival of Max's parents. Startled, the teens hastily pull apart. Max's mother, overjoyed, embraces Alex. The introduction of Yu Shen, a new exchange student, and her feline companion, Yu Shen's antisocial demeanor, evident even at dinner, contrasts with Max and Alex's burgeoning friendship. Despite Max's initial reluctance, the trio embarks on a camping trip, navigating familial dynamics amid the picturesque outdoors. The following day, Max, Alex, Yu Shen, Dan, and his latest date venture into the forest for an adventure. Yu Shen maintains her usual detachment, while the others revel in exploration and photography. A mishap befalls Alex, injuring her hand, prompting Max to use a section of his bandages for a makeshift bandage, eliciting a subtle quickening of Alex's heartbeat. As night falls, they establish camp. Dan and his companion seek privacy under a blanket, mirroring their camaraderie. Inspired, Max follows suit with Alex, introducing a surprise. He blindfolds her, intertwining their hands to allow her to touch upon his face. Max reveals a dark episode from his past, recounting a fatal consequence for breaking the rule of keeping eyes closed. Seeking solace, Alex tenderly kisses him before emerging from the blanket. In the days that follow, a sudden obstacle arises as Alex, burdened with household chores, regretfully informs Max of their postponed meeting. Later, Max's mom tasks him with discarding their old Christmas tree, a chore he tackles with the assistance of Dan. Meanwhile, Yu Shen indulges in a smoke, inadvertently igniting the tree when she discards her cigarette. Dan and Max hasten to extinguish the flames, resulting in Dan suffering burns on his hands, necessitating a hospital visit. Once Dan's hands are tended to, the duo attempts to depart, only to encounter Alex and her mom. Alex, having been misled about her whereabouts, dismisses Max and Dan as mere co-workers from the retirement home. Undeterred, Max, contemplating his feelings for Alex, seeks guidance from his dad during a shopping trip. The father advises Max to express his feelings directly to Alex, acknowledging the challenge of discerning emotions. In the afternoon, Alex and Max reunite, and she reveals that she lied the previous day because her mother disapproves of her having friends, fearing excitement might harm her. Alex's mother finds solace in the mundane setting of the retirement home. Later, the duo visits the retirement home and is met with the heart-wrenching news of Rosemary's impending demise. In Rosemary's room, they discover her being kept alive by machines, unsettling Alex, who advocates for dignified death. Stricken with compassion, Alex implores Max to reveal his face to Rosemary. Initially resistant, Max, moved by Rosemary's suffering, returns to her room. Calling her name, he unveils his face, and Rosemary, understanding, passes away with a serene smile. Following the incident, Alex ceases responding to Max's messages, leaving him perplexed and at a loss. Despite his parents' attempts to offer advice, it spirals into a heated argument, prompting Max to seek solace with Dan. Dan, bearing exciting news, suggests a local school party, urging Max, even as a homeschooled student, to attend. Overwhelmed by nerves, Max hesitates, prompting Dan to take matters into his own hands and invite Alex on Max's behalf. With no immediate response, Max decides to confront Alex directly at her home. There, she reveals the heartbreaking news that the experimental medication isn't working, and her heart is steadily enlarging. Tensions rise as they argue about her distancing behavior, but Max remains steadfastly supportive. Eventually, Alex agrees to accompany Max to the dance. On the day of the party, she surprises him with humorous costumes from an adult store. She is a maid and him as a horn dog with a dog mask and horn. At the school, they revel in an evening of dancing and playful flirtation. Suddenly, the tempo shifts, casting a romantic ambience that intensifies their connection. In the midst of this, Alex's heart races dangerously, causing a nosebleed and prompting her hasty exit. While Max waits with Dan and his date, their camaraderie is disrupted by Craig seeking revenge for a past incident. The confrontation escalates, leading to the unmasking of Max, inadvertently causing the demise of Dan's date. Panicked bystanders attract the police, resulting in Max's arrest. In custody, he glimpses Alex being transported in an ambulance. The next day, released from custody, Max finds solace in Alex's mother's embrace. Visiting Alex at the hospital, Max discovers a shocking revelation. Alex had concealed the severity of her illness, revealing a terminal condition she'd known about since childhood. With Alex's time dwindling and her aversion to being tethered to hospital machinery intensifying, she implores Max to reveal his face. Overwhelmed by the impending loss, Max recoils, refusing to witness her demise and unleashing a heated retort about the toll of constant death. Distraught, he storms away, ignoring Alex's pleas. Back home, consumed by despair, Max contemplates drastic change and attempts plastic surgery with a brick, but his parents intervene. In the ensuing turmoil, Yu Shen's cat meets an accidental demise, fueled by guilt. Max shuns Alex's attempts at communication until Dan's poignant rebuke during a visit to the deceased girl's memorial prompts him to reconsider. Finally, Max extends an olive branch, adorning the hospital walls with his embroidered apology and a design crafted in Alex's honor. As Alex's condition deteriorates, Max tenderly lies beside her, unveiling his face with a kiss. Astonishingly, Alex survives the momentary reveal, but her overwhelming joy triggers a fatal heart reaction. In her final moments, a blissful smile graces her face, reminiscing the cherished times with Max. Devastated, Max mourns at Alex's funeral, grappling with the profound loss of the only person who cared for him. Seeking solace, he visits the bridge, leaving an envelope with Alex's name containing Jell-O powder, fulfilling her dream. In the aftermath, Max returns to therapy, honoring the lessons Alex imparted during their time together. Continuing to provide companionship to Esther at the retirement home, Max and Craig are exonerated by the police, with the girl's death deemed a natural cause. The incident gains notoriety, attracting numerous letters from terminally ill individuals seeking Max's assistance. Reflecting on the necessity of death, Max begins visiting those who reach out to him, aiding them in finding peace with a painless passing. Surprisingly, he discovers that Alex, immune due to true love, didn't succumb to death. As Max's friendship with Dan deepens, he enjoys moments without the concealing bandages. Yet, a tragic oversight occurs when he inadvertently reveals his face, unintentionally causing Craig's demise during a visit.